Good morning students. Today thermodynamics chapter is going on. Today my topic is spontaneity of a reaction and entropy. That is a new term. But before that, about enthalpy, I want to share something that already you have done something about enthalpy, numericals based on enthalpy. One thing that you have to remember, that if change in enthalpy is negative, then the reaction is exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction means heat is released. So when the change in enthalpy is having negative sign, that reaction is called exothermic reaction. And when the change in enthalpy is having positive sign, that means it is endothermic reaction. This thing you have to remember. Now, what is spontaneous reaction? What is spontaneity? Generally, we have in our mind that spontaneous reaction means which is occurring fast, which is once it has been started, it is just going to complete. But that is not exact meaning of spontaneous reaction. Definitely, spontaneous reaction means which doesn't need any external force once it has been started, but it can be slow also. Spontaneous reaction can occur slow also, it can occur fast also. So what is actually spontaneity? Spontaneity means having the potential to proceed without the assistance of any external energy. This is the meaning of the word spontaneity. That is very important. It means having the potential to proceed without the assistance of external agency. Without any external agency, if a reaction is proceeding, once it has been started, it is proceeding in the forward direction. It is not going to stop. So that is known as spontaneity. So if it is proceeding, that means it is going in one direction definitely. So generally spontaneous reaction means they are irreversible reaction. Proceeding, it is proceeding in one direction. A spontaneous process is an irreversible process. It is not reversible. It is proceeding in one direction towards the completion of reaction. And it may only be reversed. It can be reversed by some external agency. When you apply something, when you change the condition, then only the reversible reaction can occur. Generally, spontaneous reaction is irreversible reaction, but if you apply condition, if you apply external agency, then it can be converted into reversible reaction also. Now, how does spontaneous reaction can be related with enthalpy? This is the drawback of first law of thermodynamics. In first law of thermodynamics, we have seen that internal energy is the sum total of heat and work done. But there, in which direction the reaction will proceed, that is not known to anyone and that is not told. Even enthalpy can also not be related exactly in a proper way with the spontaneity of a reaction. Generally, it has been observed by various experiments that spontaneous reaction is related with the negative sign of enthalpy change. Negative sign of enthalpy change. It has been observed that most of the spontaneous reaction is having enthalpy change as negative. But some other cases are also there. Some endothermic reactions are also spontaneous. So we cannot say that enthalpy change negative is the only criteria for spontaneity of a reaction. Suppose evaporation. Evaporation is an endothermic reaction. It is taking heat from the surrounding to evaporate. But it is a spontaneous process. It is a slow process, spontaneous process. So there delta H is plus value. So if plus value, then also it is spontaneous. So we cannot relate only the negative sign of delta H with the spontaneity of a reaction. So for this we need another thermodynamic term that is known as entropy. I am going to say you about a new term in thermodynamics that is called entropy. Okay, entropy is the new term. Before that, you have to know that that from where this word came, why this word is coming. Actually, it is the measure of randomness of the molecules, degree of randomness in a molecule. When a reaction is occurring, or if a system is there where gaseous molecules are there, how much movement is occurring, how much collision is occurring between the molecules, how randomly they are moving. So for measuring that, a new term came, that is called entropy. So what is that? Entropy, it is the measure of the degree of randomness or disorder in the system. The system is definitely not in order, otherwise it will be in equilibrium. It is not in order, that's why reaction is occurring or it is proceeding in a particular direction. To measure the degree of disorder or degree of randomness, a new term came, that is called entropy, that is denoted by letter S. But it has been found experimentally that we cannot measure the absolute value of entropy of a system at a particular time, at a particular temperature. Absolute value is unable to be measured. Every time, how can you find the degree of randomness, degree of disorder, how much the molecules are moving, how they are having chaotic condition, how more movement is there? Every time it is not possible. But it has been found that change in entropy can be calculated. Change in entropy is having this formula, that is, change in entropy is Q reversible by T. Q reversible means in a reversible reaction, what is the heat associated with it divided by temperature. Now when del is associated with it, that means delta sign is there. So delta sign is there, it means it doesn't depend upon the mass of the substance. Okay, so that's why delta sign is there. Another thing is entropy is a state function. This is a state function. State function means it doesn't depend upon the path, it depends upon the initial and final condition of a system. Now the question arises, Q is a path function, Q is not a state function. So how does delta S equal to Q reversible by T? If it is a path function, why it is a state function? Now Q reversible means, suppose a reaction is occurring, heat change is happening. Previously the system was here, now the system is here. So it has to be moved from here to there. This path can be traveled in any way. It can come from here to here, from this direction, from this direction, from this direction. Actually it has to be reached from A to B. So many paths are there. It can follow any of the path. But Q reversible means what? Suppose system A is changing to B by following this path. Reversible means it will follow the same path to return back. It is reversing in the same path. That means once it has covered a particular path, same path it will follow for returning back. So Q reversible can also be stated as a state function. As a result, entropy is also a state function. So change in entropy equal to Q reversible by T. Okay. Now how entropy is related to spontaneity of a reaction. Okay. And how entropy is related to change in temperature. If we increase the temperature, what will happen? If we increase the temperature, the kinetic energy of the molecules will increase, their movement will increase, there will be more disorder. So definitely more temperature means more entropy, more randomness, that is there. But temperature is having inverse relation with change in entropy. From here I can say, if temperature is more, change in entropy is less. But if temperature is less, change in entropy is more. But if I compare temperature with only entropy, there I find out, or we have to say more is the temperature, more is the disorder, more is the entropy. But with temperature, different relationship is having with change in entropy. Just inverse, reverse relation, or it is inversely proportional, that we can say. Simply we can say that molecules are moving, we are heating something, it is changing to some other, changing to some liquid is changing to gaseous state, or gas molecules are moving much more faster. So more temperature increase means more randomness. But what is the change in entropy? Already the temperature is more, so change in entropy will be less. This thing you have to remember, or you have to keep it in mind. Another thing, delta S total is equal to delta S system plus delta S surrounding. This is always greater than 0 for a spontaneous process. So one criteria for spontaneous process is change in entropy must be greater than 0. But that is also not true in every case. But in general it has been found, or experimentally it has been found, that in most of the cases, in most of the system, if delta S is greater than 0, that means it is having positive value, then we can consider that it may be a spontaneous reaction. And when a system is in equilibrium, the entropy is maximum. If the system has achieved equilibrium, in that case the entropy is maximum, and the change in entropy, that is delta S, is 0. Okay, so this is the way entropy is related with the spontaneity of a reaction. Now I will show you one chart where I will give you the value of entropy and enthalpy both, and then you can find out that how both can be related with the spontaneity of a reaction. This is a chart that I have drawn to make you understand that how enthalpy and entropy are related with the spontaneity of a reaction. It is not always the case that whenever delta H is negative, that means it is spontaneous, and whenever delta S is positive, then only it will be spontaneous. It is not like that. The condition can be something different. With example I am explaining. So first case, delta H is negative, delta S is positive. That means delta H is negative means exothermic reaction, and delta S is positive, that means the randomness is more randomness is there. One example is explosion, another example is combustion. Both are the reaction which are exothermic and in which randomness increases, movement of molecules increases. So delta H is negative and delta S is positive in this case. The reaction is a fast reaction, okay? And if delta H is negative, it is allowing the reaction to move in the forward direction. If delta S is positive, then also it is allowing the reaction to move in the forward reaction. And it is a spontaneous process because it doesn't need any external energy to continue. Once the reaction has been started, you don't have to apply anything extra. So it is spontaneous reaction and it is irreversible. Once the explosion has occurred, you cannot return it back to the original position. So it is irreversible reaction. This is one condition. So this is the condition associated with negative value of delta H and positive value of delta S. Now the second condition where delta H is positive, that means endothermic, and delta S is negative, that means the reaction is coming in the backward direction. So this is the case which is never possible. In any reaction you cannot find that delta H is positive and delta S is negative. That means randomness is decreasing and endothermic. Both cannot occur together. So there is no such example, it is not possible. One example I have written, reversible explosion. Is it possible? Reversible explosion, once the explosion has started, can you return it back to its original position, or you can return the path? It is not possible. So example of second condition is reversible explosion, which is not possible. So try to remember, there cannot be any system or any reaction where delta H will be positive and delta S will be negative. That is not possible. Now third condition. Third condition, delta H is positive, delta S is also positive. Delta H is positive means endothermic reaction, I already told you. And delta S positive means more randomness. Endothermic reaction, but the molecular randomness is increasing. Example is evaporation. During evaporation, heat energy is taken from the surrounding. So it is endothermic, but as the molecules are evaporating, changing into gaseous state, so that means randomness is increasing. In this case, as both are positive, delta S value is greater than delta H value, and it is a slow reaction. Evaporation is a slow reaction. Okay. Here, as delta H is positive, it is tending the reaction to proceed in this direction. But due to delta S being positive, it is allowing the reaction to proceed in this direction. So this is having more value, so it is proceeding in proper direction, and it is a spontaneous process. Evaporation does not need any external energy. It occurs automatically at all temperatures. So it is a spontaneous process. It is reversible and controllable. This is uncontrollable. Evaporation can be reversed back by changing the condition definitely. So it can be reversed. Now, fourth condition. In fourth condition, delta H is positive, delta S is positive. Same. Third condition, delta H is positive, delta S is positive. In fourth condition also, delta H is positive, delta S is positive. But the difference is, here delta S was greater than delta H, but in this case delta H is greater than delta S. Boiling always need external energy. Boiling does not occur automatically. Evaporation occurs automatically, but boiling does not occur automatically. So for boiling is also a slow change. It needs external energy. That means it is non-spontaneous. It is non-spontaneous. Here delta H is allowing the reaction to occur in opposite direction. Delta S is allowing the reaction to occur in opposite direction. Means both directions are different. But as the value of delta H is more, so it is non-spontaneous. So this is the case where the example of non-spontaneous reaction, where both delta H and delta S are positive. It is also reversible and controllable. Now fifth and sixth condition. Fifth and sixth condition, these values are same in both cases, but the amount is changing. In fifth condition, delta H is negative, so it will prefer spontaneity. Delta S is also negative. So what kind of thing this is? This will prefer spontaneity and this will not prefer spontaneity. But whose value is more, that will have more impact. Which is having dominating effect, that will control the reaction. Delta H is more, so that means spontaneity is having dominating effect. Example, rain or not slow, it is snow actually. I have written wrong. This is rain or snow. So this is also a slow reaction and spontaneous reaction, because I have to see the dominating factor, that which factor is dominating. Delta H negative, this is the dominating factor because this is more, and this is dominating the reaction to be spontaneous. So the reaction is spontaneous. It is also reversible and controllable. Sixth condition, delta H is negative, delta S negative, same like here. But in this case, delta S being negative, delta S negative means randomness is decreasing. When randomness is decreasing, that means it is making the system non-spontaneous. Here the dominance of delta S is more as compared to delta H. Value of delta S is more as compared to delta H. So this is also slow reaction. It is proceeding towards non-spontaneous, whose effect is is more. So it is non-spontaneous, reversible and controllable. Now another example which I have not given here but I am asking you, that is changing milk into curd. In which category we can keep it? Changing milk into curd. So delta H will be what? And delta S will be what? Changing milk into curd means delta H will be positive because it needs temperature from the surrounding to convert. In winter days you will find that making curd is difficult as compared to summer days. That means in that time proper amount of heat energy it is not getting. So when we are converting milk into curd, delta H is positive, endothermic. And what about delta S? You may think that delta S is negative, but it is also positive. Here the randomness also increases. So this is the case when milk is converted into curd. Delta H is also positive, delta S is also positive. Both are positive, and that is spontaneous reaction. So that is coming under this category, category 3, that is evaporation. Delta S will be greater than delta E. So similarly, other examples you have to think, you have to know, and they will be categorized according to this chart. Okay, so thank you for today. I hope you have understood properly. Next day another topic I will bring that will mainly decide the spontaneity of a reaction, that is known as Gibbs free energy. So that I will discuss in my next video.